I used to heavily rely on the Adobe Creative Suite in order to create graphics and edit images, but I actually canceled my subscription after many years today, and I want to share with you my experience and what are the alternatives to some of the most popular Adobe softwares in case you're considering and you don't want that monthly recurring subscription. So starting from the basics, I used to use Photoshop a lot, but nowadays I actually use Photopea, which is a free alternative to Photoshop, which mimics that software in a very close way. Now, the best part is that it's 100% free, and you can do pretty much anything in there. There's of course going to be some changes and limitations, but as far as my workflow goes, I haven't really experienced many important ones in the sense that most of the times I find myself either doing light image editing or doing things like removing backgrounds and editing layers from other Photoshop files. So for the very most part, you can do the same in Photopea. And another alternative which I heard about is Affinity Designer, I believe, and you can definitely achieve a lot in that software. I just never really had the time or invested the time in learning it. So I just went to Photopea because it's a very familiar environment and the learning curve is pretty much non-existent. Now, another tool which I happen to use not as frequently was Illustrator, and I can essentially work around illustrations for the most part in Figma. And whenever I needed to work with a .ai file, since you cannot export it directly in Figma, I would use again Photopea in order to work the basics of the file, or simply export it in SVG after I opened that .ai file. So for the most part, that definitely saved a lot of time. And last but not least, I used Premiere Pro for editing videos just like this one right here. And although Premiere Pro is definitely an amazing tool for videographers, it has its limitations and you're still binded to a monthly subscription. So for basic video editing, like the one that I do, I found myself using CapCut, which again is a free software alternative which you can definitely consider for things like social media posts, being reels or creating videos, and anything that requires some video editing. And the learning curve is very low in the sense that it's extremely easy to use, very intuitive compared to a software like Premiere Pro, which definitely took me some time to get used to it, and I had to actively go and look up tutorials online for quite a bit in order to really master it. But with CapCut, I found myself actually learning it on the go without barely needing to Google things. So if you need a basic video editor, that's definitely one which I recommend looking at. On top of that, you might be wondering what I use for PDF editors, because the Adobe one is really strong and you can achieve a lot in a very simple and straightforward way. But nowadays I made the investment into PDF Expert, which it's not the cheapest software out there, but you can edit and share PDFs in a very easy way. There's a lot of also free tools on the marketplace or on the web, such as ilovepdf.com, which is a web-based solution that can help you edit PDFs in all sorts of ways. The main reason why I actually invested in PDF Expert is because I wanted to have a solution which worked locally. So in the very rare event that maybe internet is not available, or I simply am dealing with a lot of files, with files that are quite big, I don't want to waste time uploading the file and then downloading the file And on top of that, PDF Export is just so easy to use that yeah, it was just a no-brainer since the ROI was definitely there for my specific services that I offer. So this is pretty much it. If you want to learn more about design, I'm a designer with over a decade of experience, and I share these free videos on YouTube. You can also check out my website at giliodesigns.com, where you're going to find all sorts of different design freebies, as well as the services which I offer. And I'll see you in the very next video.